Could Gotham survive a Resident Evil outbreak? If anything, in my opinion, I think Gotham is the most equipped and the most built to survive, the most built city to survive a Resident Evil outbreak. No cap, bro, because you gotta understand, like, regular Gotham is probably already worse than a Resident Evil outbreak.
So when did the nut take over the nut house?
They scream and they cry. Taste of your own medicine, doctor. Who are you working for?
Coleman Reese isn't dead, and I blow up a hospital.
There's a ring around the tunnels. They're gonna blow it and trap the cops underground.
Let the games begin. Gotham! This is the instrument of your liberation. What is this?
Fully primed neutron bomb.
And who is capable of disarming such a device?
Only me.
Only you. Thank you, good doctor. Now martial law is in effect. Return to your homes, hold your families close, and wait.
People would probably pray for a Resident Evil outbreak in Gotham, right? Because Gotham it's like a city favela or something like that, like some sort of playground where people run around and do whatever they want. You know what I mean? It's just a playground. It honestly could be, Gotham City could be an experiment. It could be. But you guys, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Hit that like button, hit that sub button if you haven't already. Could Gotham survive a Resident Evil outbreak? Definitely the most equipped city. They got so many villains that would band together to help with the outbreak. You know, some villains might not, like, you know what I mean? But for the most part, and they got Batman, they don't need anybody else. It would be hilarious to watch the regular Gotham City civilians react to a Resident Evil outbreak, because they probably act like it's just another day, you know. Let's hop right into this, boys. Gotham City surviving a Resident Evil outbreak. This is definitely this is gonna be a good one too. Okay.
Ace thought he was robbing a drug lab. He wasn't. The thing his crew cracked open in the Narrows that night. Two-Face thought he was robbing a drug lab. He wasn't. The thing his crew cracked open in the Narrows that night had been kept cold, quiet, and off every map Umbrella didn't classify. And once it's loose, the T-virus tears through Gotham. That part isn't a question. The question is who survives it, who falls to it, and who walks out as something that isn't human anymore. Stay with me, because the answer flips at least one tier you will not see coming. Chapter 1. Two-Face breaks the seal. It's a Tuesday night when Harvey Dent's men cut through a loading dock in the Narrows. The intel says unregistered pharmaceutical storage. Two-Face isn't there for product. He's there for blackmail, ledgers, trial data, anything he can hold over Gotham's corporate class. 12 men, armed, organized, walking into the wrong room. He flips the coin at the door. Heads, they go in. It comes up heads. Hang on to that coin. It matters later. The sub-basement is cold enough that their breath fogs. And here's where I need you to slow down with me, because the temperature is the whole tell. Normal drug storage runs a few degrees above freezing. This room is sitting at negative 80 Celsius. That's not medicine. That's how you preserve living tissue samples. And the gray steel cylinders on the rack, red and white logo stamped on the side, were never meant to leave it. One of his men fumbles a canister off the shelf. The seal cracks. The rest of the night goes very badly, very fast. In a sealed, freezing room with no airflow, a cracked T-virus canister can hang in the air long enough to dose everyone breathing it. And in Resident Evil canon, that airborne behavior only works in exactly this kind of lockdown lab space. Out in the open city, it can't. So, how does it eat a whole neighborhood? The same way at 8 Raccoon City. It gets into the water and the rats. Bites and fluids do the close-up work, but the sewers and the pipes do the spreading. In a block as packed as the Narrows, with no warning and no response, that's a fire with no fire break. Patient Zero is the man who dropped the canister. He turns in about 4 hours. By hour 6, 3 more of the crew were symptomatic. By hour 10, it's out of the sub-basement, into the rats, into the water main under Finger Street. And here's what makes Two-Face the worst possible person to be holding this. He understands it. Harvey Dent was a prosecutor. The man is not stupid, but understanding the problem and acting on it are 2 different things. And every call that matters gets handed to the coin. Seal the building, flip, run, flip. Warn somebody, flip. He burns the one window where quarantine was still possible, doing the single thing the virus never does. He hesitates. Survival tier D. Smart enough to see it coming, not disciplined enough to stop it. And honestly, that's worse, because he spends his last clear hours knowing exactly what he let out. He's gone inside 48 hours, and the outbreak is already past anyone walking it back.
Once that canister cracks, I mean, that's wraps after that, right? There's nothing he could do about it. I'm surprised Harvey didn't get infected. That would have been cool to have Harvey get infected and turn into patient Zero and be like the strongest one, like infected or something. That would have been tough.
Chapter 2, Bane versus the Horde.
Bane versus zombies.
Hears it before he sees it. A low, wet sound rolling in off the docks. Not gunfire, not sirens, something older than both. By the time the first infected reached the warehouses, he's already pulled his lieutenants in tight and started giving orders. This is a move I'd have made too. Bane doesn't need the biology. He runs prisons, failed states, cities under siege. He knows what a spreading threat looks like at the edges, and he treats it the way a military commander treats a biohazard. Seal the perimeter, isolate the exposed. Cut the routes in from the Narrows before the wave lands. For about 18 hours, it works. The line holds. He's cold, organized, completely in control. Then, a liquor gets through. A liquor is what a zombie becomes when the virus has had long enough.
Bane could definitely crush a liquor. He definitely could. But the only thing is, I think if the liquor scratches him, though, doesn't he get infected too? Which would be scary. Imagine Bane getting infected and mutating. That would be stupid.
With it, skin stripped away, exposed muscle, brain riding on the outside, and it's blind. It doesn't hunt by sight, it hunts by sound. Bane's compound is the loudest place in the city. Shouted orders, gunfire, boots on metal grating. The thing's through the wall before anyone spots it. 2 senior lieutenants dead in under a minute. The fight is short and ugly. Bane drives it into a support beam hard enough to cave the skull and stands over it breathing hard. He wins, but there are 4 deep scratches running down his forearm where it raked him. And in this canon, a scratch carries the virus the same way a bite does. Slower onset, same destination. Now slow down with me, because this is the part people get wrong about Bane, and it's the whole tragedy. Venom makes him stronger. More muscle force, no pain response, faster nerves. What it does not touch is his immune system.
Right.
The T-virus doesn't fight your muscles. It gets inside your cells and rewrites them from the inside. And your cells do not care how strong you are. A stronger host doesn't beat it. A stronger host just takes longer to stop moving. And even if he dodged the scratch, he's on a second clock. Venom feeds through tubes into the back of his skull, and it needs a constant supply. A supply that runs from a lab through a courier network, infrastructure that's dying block by block. Day 3, the lab's inside an infected zone. Day 4, the couriers are gone. Bane without Venom isn't the man who broke the bat. He's a person in hard withdrawal trying to survive a city that's eating itself. Survival tier C. In almost any other disaster, he's the most dangerous man in Gotham. In this one, 2 clocks run against him at once, and both run out before the outbreak does. Chapter 3, Joker and Poison Ivy.
Damn, I kind of wanted to see Bane mutate into something crazy and then get like some type of infinite toxin system going or something through his back or whatever. I don't know. I wanted to see something crazy. I wanted to see him turn into something crazy, like, you know. Oh, that would have been tough.
Chaos versus nature. Across the city, the Joker thinks this is the funniest thing that's ever happened. His response isn't panic, it's choreography. Within hours, he's herding infected like cattle toward precincts, toward choke points, toward wherever the chaos looks best on camera. A whole city turning into monsters, and nobody asked him for help. The disrespect of it. His men orbit him, too scared of the infected to run and too scared of him to ask questions. For about 36 hours, it sort of works, because the infected drift toward noise, and the Joker is nothing if not noise. Now, the Joker shrugs off toxins, his own gas, acids, poisons. His chemistry just eats them. So you'd think he has a shot here. He doesn't. Toxin immunity is a chemical fight. His blood neutralizes a compound before it can do damage. The T-virus isn't a compound. It's a pathogen that rewrites your cells at the genetic level, 2 floors below where his immunity even lives. There's no enzyme that catches that. Nothing in his blood that sees it coming. He gets infected on day 2, doing the one thing nobody else would do. He gets close on purpose, because a turning liquor is the most interesting thing he's ever seen, and he has 0 exit plan for anything he finds funny. Survival tier? D. Chaos is a short-term asset in a scenario that punishes impulse, and the Joker is pure impulse. He burns fast and loud and doesn't make day 3. Poison Ivy is the strangest case in the whole city, and this is the one that flips. Robinson Park has been hers for years. She feels...
She's probably the only one, like, realistically, who would maybe survive, I guess, and not be infected, or could survive without being infected type, you know? I mean, there's... Mr. Freeze too, probably. Croc is gonna get infected because he's gonna bite a zombie and then he'll turn. maybe. Yeah, because it'll get, yeah.
Every root system, every chemical signal moving through the soil. So when the virus reaches the park's plant life around day 2, she feels it before she can name it. A wrongness in the network. Static in a signal she's read her whole life. Here's the part that should not work and does. Back in the first raccoon outbreak, the virus didn't just hit people and animals. A plant in the Spencer mansion soaked up enough of it through the contaminated water to mutate into something aggressive and predatory.
Damn.
Plant 42. The T-virus does not respect the line between animal and plant. Enough of it in the soil, and it rewrites whatever it finds. Ivy's trees are turning into things that aren't fully trees anymore, and she has a psychic, pheromonal bond with every one of them. Her half-plant biology is a genuine unknown nobody can model clean. It might slow the virus from taking hold in her. It might speed the mutation up. She sits right on that line for 2 full days and doesn't cross it, choosing instead to hold the park's edge. When a tyrant comes through on day 3, a hulking, engineered juggernaut of a bioweapon, it's her mutated flora that soaks the damage and stops it short of the residential streets. She does not walk away clean.
When playing games on PC, do you ever wonder if someone had a
I didn't even think about how
metal, then go
Resident Evil's had
albums, clips are in.
zombie plants
But
and
she walks
all
away.
that.
Survival
Forgot about
tier
that.
B. And take a second with that, because here's where the whole video turns. The clown is dead. The Lucador is dying. And the rogue, everyone files under second string, outlasts both of them, because the one weapon that ends everyone else in Gotham is the one weapon she might be partly made of. Chapter 4, Batman's Endgame. I know where this looks like it's going. Everyone in Gotham loses. Roll credits. Stay with me, because the last man almost breaks the pattern. Batman flagged the Umbrella facility on day 1. Not luck. He's kept files on every unregistered biocam site in Gotham for years. And the second the Narrows went dark in a pattern that wasn't gangs and wasn't bombs, the Cave flagged the address. He knew what the pathogen was before the GCPD knew there was one. He was building containment before Bane's perimeter went up. But knowing first and moving fast enough are not the same thing. And here's the brutal precedent. Umbrella, billions in resources, private armies, containment teams, and they built the virus themselves, could not save Raccoon City. The final answer was a nuclear missile that wiped the city off the map. They didn't lose because they were stupid. They lost because once the T-virus hits critical density in a dense city, it outruns any response that wasn't designed in advance to stop it in the first hour. Batman can synthesize compounds in the cave that would take a corporate lab weeks. None of that changes the math. What changes it for a few hours is the Nemesis. A Nemesis-class bioweapon gets loose on day 2. And unlike the Tyrant that Ivy's plant slowed down, this one is aimed. It hunts. It was built for exactly one job: track and kill specific high-value targets, adapt to whatever they throw at it, and soak a frankly unreasonable amount of punishment. Batman doesn't run. He doesn't have...
And then after you kill it, mutate, and then kill it again, mutate again. Broken.
Room to, and running gives up ground he can't get back. He engages on day 3, and it costs him. He wins the prep, the tech, the fact that he's maybe the most tactically complete fighter alive. That's a real path through the fight. But the charges he uses to finally put Nemesis down drops 2 city blocks. His suit takes damage that slows him for the rest of the night, and he's burned 4 hours on a fight that was never supposed to be the priority. The inhibitor he synthesized, a compound that slows the virus inside an infected body by in somewhere between 12 and 36 hours, is still sitting in the cave while he digs himself out of the rubble. So, can Batman contain this? Honest answer, no. He can slow it, he can buy time, he can hold zones and save specific people. What he cannot do alone is stop a T-virus outbreak in a city bigger than Raccoon City with no cavalry coming. The Justice League is the outside force that should be on the ground, and they aren't. Government help means admitting the outbreak exists, and that call moves slower than the virus does. Raccoon City's solution was a missile. Batman's no-kill rule means he spends his last good hours trying to save people the canon already told us are gone. Survival tier A. He's the only one in Gotham who gets close to a real answer. Close isn't containment.
And it isn't enough.
In the rubble where Nemesis went down, Batman picks up a scorched silver coin, scarred down one side. He knows whose it is. He knows where this started. The city's still burning below him, and the vial in his hand might save 200 people while 20,000 are already dead. Raccoon City got a missile. Drop your survival tier in the comments. And if you think any of these characters had a better shot than we gave them, subscribe and make the case.
Mr. Freeze would survive that. I wonder, I kind of wonder how Scarecrow would fare. Like, I wonder if his toxins or his creations could screw with like the minds of the zombies maybe, or like the tyrants. I just wonder, would he be able to like just command an army of zombies himself or something like that? You know what I mean? Let me know down in the comments below what you guys are thinking. Hit that like button, hit that sub button if you haven't already. Could Gotham survive a Resident Evil outbreak? I think Gotham survives a Resident Evil outbreak just because of Gotham being Gotham. You know what I mean? Like like it's Gotham City, bro. That's the worst city of all time in all fiction.